Alright, this thing on all the way. Testing the volume and everything. It's been a minute since I made a video. I was hesitant to, because I'm like thinking, because I know what I want to talk about, but at the same time, I'm just like, man, how am I going to present it? To be honest with you, that doesn't even matter, which is kind of the premise of this video in a way. Let me explain. Because in a way, like, past few months, I've learned a lot. I've gone further in my life, right? Because I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel spiritually, right? I've grown. Other aspects of my life, in terms of my health and stuff, it's declined a little bit, or it's been the same, just because I haven't been paying attention to it. Until my health recently, I just decided, you know what, just going to get back in shape, do all that, do what I have to do. But I just want to make this video about just, I would say in this past year so far in 2018, kind of what I've really learned to value, and I jotted down a few bullet points right here just to remember what exactly I was going to talk about. But I wrote right here that for one, man, your life is short. Your life is so damn short to the point where you don't even know when you're going to die. You don't know what's going to happen in your life. It's completely unpredictable. You know what I mean? So you might as well just make the most out of what you can with it. You know, I've lived for already 20 years, almost 20 and a half years by next month. And, you know, time flies by so fast to the point where it's hard to keep track with it. And, you know, you just have to value your time, where you have to realize that you're not going to be on this earth forever. Time's definitely limited. Other thing I want to go over is that other people's opinions about you or what you want to do is completely irrelevant, man. Because, especially in today's society is so stupid. People just follow, everything. It's always been that way. There's always been mass majority followers with very few leaders. But if you look at today, the reason why people think they're so intelligent today, why they think they're so knowledgeable, is because of the internet and the fact that they're so reliant on it. Now me, I obviously rely on getting my information from the internet, but I don't just follow all the bullshit that's out there. What I do is I like to compare and contrast. I like to really dig deep, especially when it comes to history and religion, all the things that I like to study. And I like to really dig deep on different opinions and all kinds of stuff to see, see what I could get out of it, see what's the truth, as far as we could get to there. But yeah, most people, man, especially today, it's just, you look at it, people aren't as intelligent as they were years ago. The reason why is because there was less to be relying on. There was more critical thinking that had to happen. Now it's a lot less critical thinking. The values that people have, the morals that people have, went down significantly. The morals today they're terrible, bro. It's one thing if you want to, I guess, what is it, market yourself? If you have something and you want to market, or you're marketing yourself for whatever reason, but when you're constantly doing the same thing that other people are doing, and you think it makes you unique, like, I don't understand this generation, because it's like, this generation is all about being unique, right? Being yourself. Everyone does the same bullshit to be themselves, allegedly. So, that's one thing, that I thought about, is just, makes no sense, especially millennials, man. Millennials are completely lost, and I'm not a millennial. I'm generation right after. It's Generation X, But yeah, it's just crazy to think about it. Just everyone is so damn comfortable in their own little world. They have so much information at the tip of their fingers. They think they're intelligent, but they're not, because they don't even think. The only thought that they have is whatever the hell other people think of them, and that's about it. Obviously it's human to care about what other people think to a certain extent, All of us want some sort of reputation to uphold, but at the end of the day, why the hell have that dictate your morals and what you do in your everyday life? I just find that stupid. So, and that leads to the second bullet point is, man, you gotta just accept yourself for who you are, accept your flaws, accept your weaknesses, which was very hard for me to do. Very hard for me to accept what my weaknesses were, what my strengths were. Um, I've come to learn that basically when it comes to me, even though I would say that I'm smarter than most people, I don't think I'm naturally smarter. And that's not to brag, but I just think that I am very ambitious, that I like to get to the center of things because growing up, I always remembered people were a lot more quick-witted than I was. I was pretty, not like super slow, but I was probably slower, a little slower than the average person when it comes to getting stuff. And it's always been that way up until I would say probably midway through high school was when I really, started picking up stuff just quickly. The reason why was because I had to teach myself. I had to train myself. You can always train yourself to do a skill that you don't have, but trying to get back to is accepting yourself for who you truly are. Like what your faults are, what you're good at, just accepting what your fears are and everything. And I went through a period in my life where I did not accept myself for shit. Did I try to be someone else? No, not really, slightly, but I was terrible at it. I was so bad at trying to be somebody else that I tried it for a little bit that I just stopped doing it. I just kept being myself, but at the same time, it was like I just exaggerated certain parts of my personality, right? It was almost like a coping mechanism. Like I was always very comical, especially in high school, and always acted a fool, to cope with that. I always had to cope by acting up, by doing stupid shit, by pulling pranks, all that. I was that type of kid. I would probably tell you a prank, a prank that I did freshman year of high school for another day, because that's a story. And obviously, anybody who's watching this that knows me from back then, or I've told, they know what I'm talking about. So anyway, next one. You have to define your own success. What to you is successful? Now, obviously, there's kind of like a grand scheme of what success is, making more money, all that, yada, yada. Money's just a tool. I'm not going to say money's not important because you need money as a tool to get around in this world, to do what you want in this world. So I can't say money's not important, but what I will say is that if someone says, hey, you need to make $1 million to become successful, do you really need to make $1 million fucking dollars to be successful? Is that what you truly want? Or, because that's just a milestone, that's just a number. What to you is true success? For me, true success is through whatever I want to do in life, I want to be able to influence, be able to change minds, because I feel like, especially, in today's generation and future generations, we're going to end up going through a decline in morals and also probably even intelligence, even though I think Generation Z is more intelligent than millennials. And I'm not even going to say no offense because I could give a shit less because everyone likes to get fucking offended anyway. They kiss my ass. But, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I could definitely do that because one thing that a lot of people around me realize is that with music, last year I was actually more active in it than I am this year. And I think a lot of that had to do with me not changing as a person, but my focus changing on what I really wanted to do. Just because all my other lyrics were about me trying to prove myself and what I could do and watch this and watch that. I never rapped about the bullshit that rappers rap about now or did any of the mumble rap bullshit. But it was more of watch out for me, watch what I could do, this and that. I had to make sure that my presence was felt. And yes, sure, I still want to make my presence felt whenever I do a song, whatever. But that's not my vocal point. My vocal point now on what I really want to do is I want to change things. I want to, use music not just as an outlet to show what I could do, but also, not to show, that I'm there and I'm present and I could do this and that, but also what I could do in terms of changing people's minds, who I am, etc. Use it as an outlet in that way, because it was like I put all myself in that music for sure, but to a certain extent, I only put like all of myself, like one part of all myself in there. And that's the very aggressive, competitive side. I didn't really put another side into it. I didn't know how to, just because my other emotions, I always kept them very bottled up. Even growing up, to this day, I'll admit, like I'm not a very expressive person. Like I don't know how to express my emotions thoroughly. I mean that could be because of, certain things like throughout my childhood. I didn't live a terrible childhood, but my childhood wasn't necessarily the easiest either. But you get me, like, just certain events, certain things in my life that probably, led up to it that I could think of off the top of my head that, I'm not going to say right now, but yeah, it's probably what it was. But you know what? I'm trying to learn how to grow from that and see what I can do. Obviously, I'm not going to be one of these goddamn super sympathetic type of people because that's never been who I am. I'm more of a logical person, and I think more logically. I depend on rational thoughts and what makes the most sense as opposed to just catering to people's feelings. But I realize that I could still get my point across rationally without butchering people and chopping people apart whenever I'm trying to make a point, because that's what I would do. Because someone debates me, I would just tell them straight up, like, you're fucking retarded because this and that, and I just chop them up. But yeah, definitely define what success is for you. It's not the same for everybody. You live your own life. Like I said before, life is short. You have to do what you believe is the right thing. Okay? All right. Which, obviously, the way that you achieve that is through my next bullet point, which is to be yourself 100% of the time. You have to be your authentic self 100% of the time to truly attract what you want in life. And the reason why that is because my friend told me recently, and I realized, over time I kind of ended up realizing it because I thought I was crazy. I'm like, shit, I'm so much different than other people. I thought I was literally like messed up in the head. I thought that I was really just screwed. Like there was something wrong with me. I'm wrong. That was the case. Obviously, I'm a little freaking weird. I'm different from most people, but it's not even that. It's more of, you told me that I'm myself 100% of the time. Other people kind of fit in. They're kind of actors in a way. They kind of know how to act, how to portray certain personas. To try to fit in. To be honest with you, even though yes, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but I've done acting, I've done monologues, and put myself in like the shoes of whatever character I was playing, and I played it very well. That's a different story for a different time. But I can never, like in my own life, I can never portray a character. I can never act. I would, like I said, I would try to, and I would fail miserably. I don't know how to. It's not in my nature, So sometimes I'm just very loud, or very abrasive, or I just need to say or do whatever I gotta do. I do a lot of goofy shit as well. That's just who I am as a person. That's just not gonna change, And I've learned that through that, I ended up having the friends that I have. I've never had to really deal with any fake friends. There's been a couple. I weren't really fake friends that I was friends with just because we hung out and did the same shit and I never really wanted to do it. That was never me. I never had that issue, which I know most people, they do. So, yeah, it's just, you really attract what you want and the people that you want to be around with when you're yourself, because, you attract them and they attract you. You know what I mean? Because of who you truly are. Because when you attract people just by playing a certain persona, you're not going to want to be around them. Not only that, the things in your life, you're not going to want to be around. So when you're authentically yourself, sure, there are consequences to it. There are the bad traits of your personality that you can work on, or maybe they're not necessarily bad, but maybe they'll get you in trouble because other shit's fucked up. But, that's just the case, and that's just the case. But for the most part, you're going to enjoy life more and view yourself 100% of the time. Leads me to this, is you have to You have to be patient with yourself, which is something that I didn't know how to do for a long time that I'm still working on. I'm a lot better at now, but I'm still not 100%. Because I remember even, especially 2 years ago, and even last year too, everything had to be right now. I was so caught up in my own head, right? Oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, but I was never doing anything because I was constantly thinking it. I wasn't patient with myself. I was always judging myself, and because of that, um, I just never got anything done, and I was always angry. I was always frustrated. Excuse me, because I was never patient with myself. I wanted to push myself so hard for nothing, um, and none of it. And through that, like the other things, nothing was authentic because everything was so pushed, everything was so rushed. Nothing that, especially artistically, came from me that was very authentic because I was trying to rush everything. You sometimes you just have to find yourself. Everything things come quicker when you get to know yourself more. You know what I mean? And even then, you need to be patient with yourself because not everything comes right away. That's just the truth of the matter, man. I mean, there's no other way to get around it. Next, the last thing that I kind of want to talk about, get off, is honestly, is whatever you do in life, serve a higher purpose. Don't focus, like I said, on what other people think, your own ego, because that's just going to lead you down the wrong path as well. We want to serve a higher purpose. Me, I believe, whenever I do things, I believe in spirituality. I believe that there's a higher power, a higher being. I believe in certain parts of, especially Christianity. I believe in, for the most part, I would say I believe in most of it. Not 100% because Christianity is a religion. I'm not religious, but whenever I do my research, I find a lot of what they say to be factual. I know that sounds crazy, especially with the mainstream media today. But, I mean, the modern church, I mean, it could be disproven very, very easily just because it's very vague. What they teach is very vague. When you go deeper in depth, when you do research, you figure out, like all these scriptures and everything, man, like, it's crazy. But that's a different topic for a different day. But, I just believe that in my life, I just want to do what I believe is the right thing. We're changing people's minds. Obviously, I can't force it, but, to influence. If I can influence other people's thoughts, I don't need, before I wanted to I was serving the purpose of my own insecurities, my own ego, because I always felt so out of place. I was always so insecure because I was always an outcast. Always wanted to be that millionaire, billionaire lifestyle with everything. My personality, nobody's actual personality fits that. And obviously, I told you I can't play a fucking character. So, I mean, I don't fit that at all. I don't fit that criteria of that fast life, whatever. I like to go out and party and do stuff too, don't get me wrong. But I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do any of that crap. So for me to live that lifestyle with all the things that most of those people value just makes no damn sense. Especially my beliefs on, getting there. I'm not even going to discuss that. But, you know what I mean? I realize that, the purpose that I serve, if I could end up having, maybe, because I do want to get to 1 million people, or more than 1 million people to follow my lead. Or not to follow my lead, but to at least be inspired to discuss with it, that I could engage, that I could really engage and kind of get them going. If I could do that, if I could live off of that, make money off of that, if I could travel, if I could do all the things that I want to do in life, I don't even have to be a fucking millionaire that everyone knows who the hell I am, then why should I? Why should I? Because I don't even like that much attention. I don't like I remember in high school, especially, I was very infamous in high school. I wouldn't say I was popular. I was very infamous. Everyone knew me, and it was kind of awkward when you don't even know who the hell they are. It's like, I don't like that extra attention. That doesn't feed my ego, and I never wanted to become that person. Sorry, but yeah, and I didn't know what to serve for a long time. I didn't know, I was kind of serving my own insecurities, my own ego in a way. It wasn't really my ego. I was just doing it to cover up my insecurities for the most part. Kind of serve other people's doubts about me to prove them wrong. That goes hand in hand with the insecurity part. But a lot of people obviously want to serve their own ego, what people think about them. They want to serve other crap. I don't fucking know. But something along those lines. Serve a higher purpose. I believe in a God. I know there's a God. I think it's stupid not to believe in a God. I can make a video about that another day, but you know what I mean? I believe that I could do the right thing of what I believe, is the right thing, through the God that I believe in. So that's what I want to do. And I'm not going to say, like, whenever I come out with rap, I'm going to be like some gospel rapper now, because I'm not. It even says, we even said that we're all sinners, so obviously I'm going to make songs where I'm going off, saying all kinds of stuff, because that's a true part of my life. That's either what I was going through before, or what I'm going through now, or what I see in my future, or whatever. I'm not going to hold back and all of a sudden I'm all goody two-shoe, because I'm not. I've never been that. So I'm, going to be my authentic self through that. Because we're all sinners, bro. I could accept that I'm a sinner, I'm not God. And I believe, at the end of the day, what's gonna fulfill your life is if you know what you're serving something that's a higher purpose than yourself. Whether it's inspiring others, whether it's helping others, whether it's serving God, whether it's anything. I mean, anything. Whether it's building things. Who the hell knows? Building things for, building new technology, whatever the hell you have in mind. Just serving a higher purpose at the end of the day will fulfill your life more than what you realize. Because even though, honestly, I would not be nearly as patient with myself right now in my life if I didn't serve a higher purpose. If I did not serve a higher purpose, if I did not believe in a higher power, I would be lost like I was before when I was doubting a higher power. Even a short snippet of time where I thought maybe a higher power doesn't even exist. So, yeah, man, I mean, that's all I got to say for this video. I know I said I'll be posting. I can't keep any promises. But, when I do get going, obviously, my work and my work ethic and, the results will show. The results will come with that. So, till then, I guess stay tuned. Just watch out for my next video, and I'll see you.